Just an addendum at the front of the piece. At the front of the piece, everybody. Um, I still can't get videos uploaded to Black Junction TV. So my white genocide South Africa video, I still can't do it. Still can't do it. And like I said, I can't upload it to fucking YouTube and import it over there. That can't happen. So I just wanted you to know, because that video is complete, it's done, it's and so I can't. So I just wanted to give you that quick update. Um, if something else happens, I'll let you know. Let's go. What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. And first of all, I hope that my fan is not bleeding into my audio. It is a sauna in my house. So if anybody needs to do just like a sauna cleanse or something like that, just like a little cleanse, usually just like a little cleanse. So I'm saying, you can just come to my crib. Like it's nothing. So I'm saying, I can just give you a towel or something, feel me? And everything and stuff. But anyway, this is again a submission from the universe, because I had only seen something about Ving Rhames, who we love, and once again the universe said go check your notifications, and sure enough, one of my queens, shout out to Akibla and Violet, I love you, my sister, I love you, said, Jedi, boom, did you hear about Ving Rhames, and sent me a link. I'm over it. So the troops are definitely in my head this week. You feel me? They just all up in my brain. So I'm saying, I can't even get no rest. So I'm saying rest. R-E-S-S, rest. So I'm saying I can't even get no rest. Quick story for y'all too, because when I was in high school, at one point I had to stay with a friend's family, and my friend Paul and his mom, Valverda Holt, don't ask, but she had a slight overbite, and so her S's sounded a certain way, and she always had just a little bit of saliva that came out when she said S's, and we used to just die laughing behind her back, of course. And so she would come in there. Sometimes me and Paul would be up late listening to music or being loud or on the phone or something. She'd come in there, Paul, you and so-and-so, y'all need to get some rest. Rest. This is totally ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is totally that. She's one of the people that said totally. She never said totally. She said, this is totally ridiculous. And then that S. So sometimes she would say stuff and we break right in her face, and you couldn't hold it. This is totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Anyways, and by the way, this story is totally ridiculous. But so again, shout out to Akibla and Violet, I love you. And I have pulled some other meat and potatoes to go with this, and we're actually going to also hear from Ving Rhames. Now, police held Ving Rhames at gunpoint in his own home after, no doubt, a white bitch told a 911 that a large African man had broken in. So we know it was a white heifer, because no African person would call up and say that description. Wouldn't need to do that. Wouldn't need to do that. His fame saved his life. Wow. Just a quick thing on Ving Rhames. Like, I love Ving Rhames, and you know, he's one of them faces that we rarely get a chance to see a whole lot of. You know, it was kind of like Bokeem Woodbine and Mekhi Phifer and Omar Epps. I'll throw him in that class, all those brothers in that same class, because they're all really fantastic, and they're just not being used, you know, like I just feel like we don't really see them enough. And I enjoy their performances, especially Ving Rhames, especially in Baby Boy, because he was that dude. Like, we all know that dude. I forget what his character's name was in that, but we know that dude. Like, we know him. So, and then me and my sister had a running joke for many years after he did Holiday Heart, because we start calling him Miss Ving Rhames. So anytime we see him on anything, but is that Miss Ving Rhames? That is Miss Ving Rhames. That is Miss Ving Rhames. That's Miss Ving Rhames. That's her. That's Miss Ving Rhames. So we got a lot of mileage out of that. But let's get into this now and find out what is the why we hate this. And this is from Ashley Atwell at Blavity. Ving Rhames, famous Ving Rhames's famous face might have saved his life. During an interview with Clay Kane, the Clay Kane Show, Ving revealed a devil pointed a gun at him as he stood on his doorstep in Santa Monica, California. The confession came after Kane asked the Mission Impossible star about his experience with racism. Quote, "I'm sure you hear about all the reports of African men being attacked by devils. Satanic, racist devils," Kane asked Ving. "You're a big star, but how does racism show itself in your life?" I love that question. I love that question. That's the way you ask, because it doesn't give any credence to this bullshit that there is no racism and da 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 da. It assumes, of course, you're an African man sitting here, of course, or however they talked. Of course, this has happened. What is your story? That's what it's saying. Let's read that again. I'm sure you hear the reports of African men being attacked by fucking satanic racist ass police. All right. You're a big star, comma. But how does racism show itself in your life? That is how the fuck you respect our goddamn struggle. Period. Appreciate the damn question. Ving's answer proves despite his stardom, he still deals with the reality of being an African man in this asshole of the devil. Quote, "This happened this year. I'm in my home. It was about 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon. This sounds like, because I heard the audio, because I was going to have to play it for you. Let's play this. Okay, this is not playing. I don't know anything about SoundCloud, y'all. I'm not that advanced. I ain't gonna even act like it. And there's no controls. Like, it's just, you can't do nothing. It's play or not. Whatever. We'll just see if this is the full piece. This happened this year in my home. I'm in my home. It's around 2:15 p.m. in the afternoon. I have a screen door, and then I have a wooden door in my I'm in my house in a pair of basketball shorts only. I have 2 English bulldog puppies. I hear, and those are the cutest little dogs ever. Oh, and bad. I love them. I have 2 English bulldog puppies. I hear a noise in my backyard, but I'm thinking the puppies are just running around. And then I get a knock on the front door. When he opened the door, Ving says he was staring down the barrel of a 9mm fucking handgun with a fucking devil behind it. The devil with the gun pointed at him. An asshole was supported by several other devils, the chief of police, and even a police dog. Excuse me. I open the door, and there's a red dot pointed at my face from a 9mm. They say, "Put your hands up," literally. I just walked and opened up the door. Then they said, open the front door, open the front screen door. They say, do it with one hand. So then I have to do it with my one hand. I have to do it with one hand. My hands are up and they have me outside, Ving says. The chief of police, the chief of the asshole racists, recognizes Ving and had the devils stand down. The other Klansmen reveal a neighbor called 911, no doubt a white whore, telling the operator a, quote, large black man, end quote, had broken into a home. When Ving and the devils visited the person who made the call, which I love that, the bitch denied it. You see, this bitch needs to be fucking thrown face first into the asphalt and arrested for aggravated attempted murder. That's the charge, and I can prove it. Because she's expecting violence when they show up. It's aggravated because she's a white whore, and she's calling it on an African man simply because he's an African. And I assume that Ving Rhames didn't move into that house yesterday or that day. And it's right across the street. Aggravated attempted murder. Throw the book at this bitch. Nothing less. But that's not good enough because they're saying they visited the person who made the call, the person denied it. No, that's not good enough because then you can just play the fucking call and trace it and say, no, bitch, it came from your house. You don't get to deny it. Throw the bitch on the asphalt face first, aggravated attempted murder. What am I missing here? Huh? Oh, she just denied it. Like, so her first call, just her word was good enough. Now she denies it, and that's good enough too? No, this bitch is getting too many chances. Fuck that. Asphalt face first. Ving knows he was lucky, but the situation made him worry about his son. My problem is, as I said this to them, what if it was my son and he had a video game remote or something and you thought it was a gun? Rhames asked. You see? Aggravated attempted murder on this bitch. Ving isn't the first public figure to have a frightening run-in with police. In May, NBA star Sterling Brown was seen being brutalized by fucking Klansmen in a parking lot. One of the Klansmen later joked about the incident on Facebook. You see? Joking about it. There's no respect that goes with that fucking Halloween costume. You see? There's certain uniforms in the society you see, and you should have some respect for it. You see? A nurse. You see somebody in a nursing uniform? That's, wow. Nurses work a lot of long hours. They have to be kind. They have to have a lot of knowledge. They have to have a good bedside manner. I mean, there's a lot. You're putting with all sorts of different personalities. They're caring. They're giving. God bless the nurses. Then you see, a firefighter, If you see their fucking truck rolling with goddamn sirens, it's something going on and you need them. And they show up and they do their shit. No bullshit, no drama. You see an airline pilot with his bars on his shoulder and you go, wow, that guy's about to fly an A380 to fucking Japan or something. It's a lot of responsibility. They're kind, they greet you. Hi, I'm the pilot, So there's certain uniforms that one could see and go, wow, I respect just that. Even the postal carrier. They're out there in all weather, year round, even on the weekends. But a goddamn fucking police Halloween costume? Bite my ass. Alright, I got a couple more pieces. And we're just going to scan them to see if they're just repeats of this, because we may not need them. But I always try and pull multiples just to contrast information. So let's pull up this other piece. Alright, police call, pull gun on actor Ving Rhames, or Miss Ving Rhames at her California home. On Friday, what date is this? This is July 27th. It's 27th July 2018. I'm sure you hear about reports. The 59-year-old told a terrifying story of Santa Monica Klansmen pulling a 9mm handgun on him. This happened this year. Okay, it's the same thing. Let's go to the other one. Ving Rhames says police held him at gunpoint in his own home. Mission Impossible star said on a radio show a white bitch called police reporting a break-in. And the other thing too, everybody, is because now the bitch said a break-in. Well, let's go through this forensically for just a moment and use our common sense. We don't have to be CSI investigators. We only need to be smart. Get a call for a break-in. All right, fine. So, this is Ving Rhames' house. It's not a friend's house. We assume he didn't walk there. So there's probably a vehicle somewhere. So, you run the plates. Even if you don't know who fucking Ving Rhames is, you run the plates, it's gonna come back, you're gonna see it's a big black man on the fucking picture. Okay. Then you go across the street to the white whore, and you say, where did you see them breaking in at? And you don't see any damage in that area. You ask them, well, how was the bitch breaking in? Where was the break in? You see? Now you've got her by the wrist. And you ask her, when did you see this? And she can't say it. And you throw the bitch face first into the asphalt. I need asphalt face first. So my point is, there was ways they could have proved this before even encountering him. They could have proved that. Even the address on the house, they could have called in and said, what's this address? So this was white collusion. You see, they're just as guilty as her. They're just as guilty as her. All of them. All of them. Ving's shown no stranger to racism. He was held at gunpoint by these fucking Klansmen. He shared a story. The police knocked on his door. Okay, it's the same thing. Fine. Alright, fine. Alright, well, let me see. Maybe this one plays. Excuse me.
How does racism show itself in your life at this point for you?
Sure. I'm sorry. I'll tell you specifically. I had a situation.
Okay, I can't get enough more volume out of this, y'all. You know what? I can barely hear it. And if you look in your upper left-hand corner, you see that? That's my volume. Now, I put it at 100, and I can still barely hear. You're not going to be able to hear it. If I can't hear it out here, then inside my system, it's not. I can't. I'll link this, everybody. I'll just link it. Excuse me. I'll link it, and then you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it for yourself. All right. I did have another piece that I saw like off to the left or something when I was pulling this, and I'm thinking it might be a feel-good piece. So let's go to that now, and that will bring my pressure down as I land this plane. Okay, this is also from Blavity. Pay up. African man is rewarded $200,000 after being fired for confronting a white devil who said the N-word. No, y'all still can't say it. I love that. A former Multnomah County, Oregon employee was reportedly fired for complaining about racist language he observed being spoken while on the job. Now the county has to pay the fuck up. Emmanuel Price was rewarded $200,000. What's the date on this? That's 3 hours ago. All right. Emmanuel Price was rewarded $200,000 for the pain and mental anguish and just the idea that he has to even deal with this devil while off the job. That is only 40% of the $470,000 sought in the March 2017 lawsuit, according to Oregon Live. Price, who is African and Hispanic, give me a break. No, you're not. You're a goddamn African, period. Don't give us that Hispanic bullshit. Who thought that before we start reading? I'm done. See what I'm saying? And you definitely don't get to claim that shit if you can't speak Spanish. Sat your ass. What's his first name? Emmanuel. This is the part supposed to bring my pressure down and get worked up. Damn it. Damn it. Emmanuel, who is African, told us the news that he was hired to increase knowledge about multiculturalism and inclusion as a member of the county's Office of Diversity and Equality. When he tried to do that, everything went south. You see, you would only have offices of diversity and equality in fucking America. You see? You would only need that where white people exist, because every place else you just don't need it. You just don't need it. You just don't need that. No, not down this hall. Don't need it. You see? When he tried to do that, everything went south. I got fired for what I got hired for, Emmanuel said in an interview. He was still in his 3-month probationary period, having started in December of 2015, the suit states. In January 2016, Emmanuel confronted Sergeant Asshole during a presentation, and the asshole's last name is Sessions, so we know what that's about. Confronted the asshole during a presentation about cyberbullying. Sessions was allegedly, or the asshole was allegedly making light of the issue by laughing at a Mexican child who, when he argued with a black child, could not pronounce the N-word, stated in a 2017 Oregon Live report. During this meeting, the asshole apologized, but then he and Lieutenant Asshole stated that they would try not to use the word, but there were some occasions where they would need to actually say it, the lawsuit says. Emmanuel found this to be offensive and unreasonable. Emmanuel stopped the presentation because the men reportedly used the slur afterwards. No, because the men reportedly used the slur. Afterwards, he also told Human Resources about the incident. However, he was fired 9 days later for poor attendance and failure to communicate with higher-ups. Huh? White collusion. White evil. White collusion. White evil. Gotta call it what it is. And you gotta be specific, because it don't come from nobody else. But the lawsuit claims he was fired because of race. The $200,000 check Emmanuel will be cashing may have proven just that. We love that. We love that. No, your ass still can't use the damn word. Sat your ass down. You see, but the focus is, why do you want to use it? And why do you care if we use it? Like as if you just speak all the languages of the earth. And you don't. So why are you focused on that word from us? Because of white evil. That's why. Of all the words on the earth and cultures around the earth and languages we've never heard, some are just sounds. Their bitch ass focuses in on this and then tries to psychologically change it as if they just don't want us even using it on each other. You care more about us fucking calling each other a goddamn nigga than you care about a goddamn cop shooting us down in the street or showing up at goddamn Ving Rhames' house, bitch. Fuck off the earth. I'm over it. This is the Jedi.